organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Tonight on Daily Iowan TV, check yourself before you express yourself. Find out how one group is calling for First Amendment rights.
And a household name is coming to Iowa City this weekend, or should we say a full household name? Find out who it is next.
And in sports,
a record-breaking Wednesday in Hawkeye athletics.
We're bringing all of this and more coming up.
You're watching Daily Iowan TV.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Nick Fisher.
And I'm Greta Miley.
The search for the next University of Iowa president is underway. Today, the Board of Regents released the name of 21 people chosen to serve in the committee responsible for finding the person who will replace current UI president Sally Mason. Some members of the Search and Screen Committee include Board of Regents members, UI faculty, UI student government representatives, and people from the public. Board of Regents President Bruce Rasteter said the UI search will resemble those done recently at the University of Northern Iowa and Iowa State University. Those two lasted around 3 to 4 months. Mason will retire on August 1st.
Warning, free speech zones strictly enforced. Young Americans for Liberty gathered in front of the Pentacrest today to protest against the university's unconstitutional free speech zones. Members of the group invited students to write a message on their free speech walls as a part of the demonstration. The group says it's ridiculous that students have to request university permission in order to exercise their First Amendment rights on campus.
As a public university funded by taxpayers, we should be afforded the exact same protections in the Constitution that every other ordinary citizen has. And so as a public university, it's kind of arbitrary for them to deny constitutional rights, especially when it's being funded by taxpayer money.
The group's president said they did not request permission from the university to hold the protest today.
Sparking a conversation about race and diversity was a goal the UI had when bringing a big-name author to campus Wednesday. National correspondent for The Atlantic, Ta-Nehisi Coates, visited Iowa City to present a lecture at the Engler Theater called A Deeper Black, Race in America. Coates is nationally known for his Atlantic blog and his writing on race and slavery in America. Yesterday afternoon, Daily Iowan TV met with Coates during media availability before a reception was held for him in the Old Capitol.
My job here is to remind people that history matters. That you can't talk about America as though America began in 1968. It did not. The past matters.
For more on Coates, read today's edition of the Daily Iowan.
The UI Bowling Club may be striking out soon. We have Metro reporter Grace Pateras standing by in the newsroom for more on this developing story. Grace?
Thanks, guys. I'm Grace Pateras from Metro. My story tomorrow is about the UI Bowling Club. They may have to look at other options to where they practice Sunday nights. The club uses Colonial Lanes for their practices, but only late hours that interfere with the 21 ordinance are available to them. The group is running into the problem that members under 21 can't stay past 10 o'clock. Read the full story in tomorrow's Daily Iowan. Thanks, Nick and Greta. Back to you.
A lie from inside our state is now costing the federal government at least $7 million. A former Iowa State scientist pleaded guilty Wednesday for faking results in an AIDS vaccine study. Dong-Pyo Han admitted he injected human antibodies into the blood of rabbits to make it seem like the vaccine protected the animals from HIV. The results were seen as groundbreaking until it was discovered the findings were fake. He was forced to resign in 2013 from Iowa State and is currently facing up to 10 years in prison and a $500,000 fine.
We now know the man behind one of the masks of ISIS. The militant known as Jihadi John is Mohammed Emwazi. He was the man featured in the videos by the Islamic terrorist group executing Western hostages. Emwazi is a young British man from West London. He is thought to have killed at least 5 people, including U.S. journalist James Foley, in a video released last August. Emwazi is reportedly part of the other terrorist group known in the UK.
And a big winter storm may be headed our way this weekend.
Katie, how bad is it supposed to get?
though the bright sun today melted some of the snow we got yesterday, we will be seeing more snowfall over the weekend. Tomorrow, though, will be clear like today, but also very cold like today. The morning temps will be in the negatives and stay in the single digits for most of the day. Saturday will be a little warmer with highs in the lower 20s until that night, where there's a good chance of snow anywhere from 1 to 3 inches, ending Sunday by about noon. It will be a little bit warmer for the tail end of the weekend and into next week, when temperatures may reach the upper 20s. But there will be snow again and freezing rain on Monday night and into Tuesday morning. That's all I have for weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
Does this look familiar? Today, the FCC made history after deciding internet providers could no longer regulate the movement of video traffic based on how much a streaming company like Netflix is willing to pay. It's called net neutrality, and it means providers like Comcast and Mediacom have created a level playing field for subscribers. It could have an effect on buffering and load times, since websites can no longer pay for faster internet connection. The move is controversial and will likely face a number of lawsuits, but for those who have supported net neutrality, the move is a big victory.
And this new ruling is good news for House of Cards fans, including myself. The third season premieres this week. Reporter Frank Rotella went out to find out if students will be tuning in.
Beyond award nominations and Critics' Choice lists, the web television series has gained a huge following from fans. Viewers have become smitten with Frank Underwood, a power-hungry Democratic congressman from South Carolina played by Kevin Spacey, and his wife, Claire Underwood, played by Robin Wright.
I stopped by the IMU to see how many students were counting down the seconds to the season's premiere.
Looking forward to the new season, really kind of see what Frank's going to do.
UI senior Andrew Charper says he was hooked instantly. He watched all 24 45-minute episodes in just 2 days.
I mean, it just overdosed on it. It's the great thing about Netflix, though.
Freshman Sam Feldstein is just a few episodes in, but like Charper, he's hooked.
I just kind of flipped it on, one day, and I was just blown away by that first pilot episode.
Feldstein has some catching up to do, but is excited for a third season. Charper, on the other hand, will be watching despite a busy weekend.
I've got a closed bar both nights this weekend, but I think I'll find some time to squeeze it in there, right? So.
Netflix is available on virtually all smartphones, so maybe he'll be able to sneak in a few episodes while he's at work. Reporting from the IMU, Frank Rotella, Daily Iowan TV.
House of Cards will be available on Netflix tomorrow. And a star from another popular show will be in Iowa City tomorrow night. We'll toss it over to Megan Sanchez for this week's Arts and Entertainment to find out what famous TV father it is.
Thanks, guys. A familiar face is coming to Iowa City this weekend, but from what I've heard, his show may not be as innocent as The Milkman and The Paperboy. Take a look.
Waiting just around the bend. Everywhere you look, there's a heart.
When you hear the name Bob Saget, you probably think of this hit sitcom.
That's kind of his claim to fame.
Or maybe this song starts to play in your mind. Whatever you have in mind, father of 3 or comedy show host, picture this: Bob Saget at the University of Iowa. Brought to you by Campus Activities Board, the comedian will be here Friday night at 10 p.m., but the show might not be what you would expect from Danny Tanner.
His stand-up is kind of vulgar, I guess you could say, so we have it an 18 and up show. It's the complete opposite of what Danny Tanner you think would be like.
Second guy goes, good, 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 good vibration. And the third guy goes, good, 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 good vibration.
So while the show might be a little inappropriate, Cav is expecting a great turnout.
We're expecting, if not a sellout, really close to a sellout.
And if you're a student here at the UI, you won't break your bank trying to see this show. That's right, tickets are just $5 for students and $7 for adults. They're still on sale at the Hub and the IMU. That's all I've got this week in Arts and Entertainment. If you're going, have fun at the Bob Show. Greta and Nick, back to you.
And the swimmers have a big weekend ahead of them.
Yeah, Greta, I heard some records were even broken on the opening night yesterday. We'll toss it over to the sports studio for more.
Thanks, guys, and you're right. Breaking records seem to be the trend for Hawkeyes both in the pool and on the court. Inside the sports studio, I'm Chelsea Brown.
And I'm Austin Luce. The women's swimming and diving teams set the bar high, clinching 8 new school records, wrapping up their Big Ten championships. And right now in our backyard, the men's swimming and diving team host the Big Tens and have already posted a new school record on opening day. Daily Iowan TV sports reporter Eric Gallagher has more.
The University of Iowa men's swimming and diving team is off to a good start after the opening day of the Big Ten Championships. The event, being held right here in Iowa's own Campus Wellness and Recreation Center, has already seen at least one impressive performance by the Hawkeyes in their home pool. The team broke a school record in the 200-yard medley relay with a time of 1:25.53. This time graded them third place and an NCAA A-cut in the event, earning the team a spot in the NCAA championships.
It's definitely nice to get that A-cut. That means that relay is going to be in NCAA, so I mean, that's exciting. It's another 4 guys that get to go, so we'll definitely try and add to that in the days to come.
Iowa next raced their way to a 9th place conference finish in the 800 freestyle. Michigan went on to win the event and ended the night as the team to beat. The Hawkeyes ended Wednesday in 7th place, but UI head coach Mark Long believes his team will be able to make up plenty of ground against both the Wolverines and the rest of the Big Ten.
Tomorrow it's another day where we got only 3 individual swimming events, 1 diving event, and we're going to have some outstanding performances.
Day 2 of the Big Ten Championships will feature the 500-yard freestyle, 200-yard individual medley, 50-yard freestyle, and the 1-meter diving event. From the Campus Recreation and Wellness Center, I'm Erin Gallagher. For Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Hawkeye Hoops also adding personal bests in the record books. Going into Wednesday's matchup against Illinois, the Hawkeyes had 1 goal to get their 3rd straight Big Ten win. Daily Iowan TV basketball reporter Jalen Socek was courtside for the game and has a story on one of the players' exceptional nights.
Thanks, guys. Aaron White asked for 3. Aaron White gets 3. The Hawks picked up their 3rd straight Big Ten victory with a win 68-60 over Illinois and a career night coming from White. Aaron White knew it was going to be his game before even stepping on the court.
I kind of had this weird feeling before the game that something special was going to happen for myself and our team. And sure enough, it did. I was just in the zone there.
White hit a career-best 29 points against the Fighting Illini. He also pulled in 9 rebounds and 2 steals, earning praise from even Illinois head coach John Gross.
That I thought Aaron White was spectacular. I mean, I thought he played like a senior's supposed to play this time of year. I thought he was terrific. When they needed him, he came up with big buckets, big rebounds. Thought he played with inspiring effort. I thought he was terrific. I thought he was hands down the best player in the game. Wasn't even close.
The senior had a total of just 4 3-pointers in Big Ten play this season before hitting 3 against Illinois.
It's kind of frustrating that, like, the end of my career, they're finally going in. I'm sure the fans are like, where did this come from? Or people, I mean, shoot, I made 2, and the Illinois coach is still yelling, like, oh, he can't shoot. And I'm like, all right, I'll pull another one. But
for a stretch, White was unstoppable, going on his own 14-point run. In some, it was a perfect senior moment for the Ohio native as his days in the Iowa uniform dwindled down.
He does everything, and not just the 29 points he had or whatever it was, but he does all the other little things that you need in a leader to win.
In the 3-game win streak, White is averaging 20 points and 9 rebounds. Only 3 games remain for the Hawks. Up next, the team will travel to University Park to take on Penn State. Inside Carver Hawkeye Arena, Jalen Socek, Daily Iowan TV Sports. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Jalen. Iowa hasn't faced Penn State yet this season. The Nittany Lions are just 3-12 in the conference and have lost their last 4 games. That game is set to tip off at 5 p.m. this Saturday.
Before we wrap things up, in women's hoops, Allie Disterhoff and Samantha Logic have both been named Capital One Academic All-Americans. Iowa's the only Division I school in the nation to have 2 honorees.
Disterhoff, only a sophomore, has scored in double figures 40 of 44 career starts, and Logic is the only player in NCAA history to accumulate 1,400 career points, 800 rebounds and assists, and 200 steals.
Bluter's Bunch is in action right now at Carver Hawkeye Arena, hosting their annual Pinkout game against the Wisconsin Badgers. Be sure to tune in to Sunday's program for the Daily Iowan TV for the recap.
As well as all your weekend highlights from the Big Ten Championships and the pool. Nick and Greta, back to you guys.
That will do it for us here at Daily Iowan TV.
Make sure to check us out on Sunday at 9 p.m. for the latest news.
Thanks for watching.
And have a great weekend.
You can download the Daily Iowan mobile app on your iPhone for the area's best news coverage. And you can also read and watch us on your iPad. The Daily Iowan is now on TV, online, and in your pocket. If it happens, it's news to us.